everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
Back.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The lion. The lion. New man on the so fine. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
Getting stronger. Getting stronger. Washington Football Weekly getting stronger. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? It's yeah, boy, Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo. Let's talk football. And I'm also 1/4 of that phenomenal friendship that is Washington Football Weekly. And I know right now there's only 3 of us. One more will be joining us later. But while I got these guys, I gotta shout out my guy, Dub K, Will Kramer. I gotta shout out the man that they all ask about, the shirtless wonder. What's going on? You know who it is. Anton, Mr. Moral Support, will be with us a little bit later. What's up, people? What's up, guys? How we doing on this Wednesday? How we doing, man?
Blessed, definitely blessed. Glad to be here. I'm ready to talk some smack too. Hopefully, we don't have any kumbaya moments today.
No,
Right?
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Good Wednesday when we get together and talk Washington football or Skins football. You know, when we talk history. There you go. So yeah, this is Christmas, man. You know. You little kids get excited for Christmas. I get excited for free agency and the draft. You wake up, you're a little pep in your step. I'm refreshing Twitter every 2 minutes.
Right.
Anybody sign?
Hey, look, ladies and gentlemen, we got a group chat where we're talking every single day and hitting up all these highlights and all these things. So when we get these things in the group chat, I'm scrolling through like, oh, really? Oh, did that just happen? Sometimes I got to go all the way back up to be like, wait a minute. Who did we just sign? So, I appreciate you guys because y'all definitely keep me abreast of everything that is going on with us. And this week, hey, first and foremost, hey, if you guys don't know, I know I got the Washington on, but I do have a little Tar Heel blue on because, hey, it's that other time of year, March Madness. So I need my Tar Heels to come do that thing, you know. But that's all we're gonna talk about with that. But hey, let's get into it, guys. That they came here to talk about the free agency, and as we saw, we just made a big move. We just made a real big move for QB number 1. Ryan Fitzpatrick is coming to Washington. Bring in the magic.
Oh.
Bring in the magic. Will, how you feeling? You know how I feel.
I thought you were talking about Curtis Samuels, man.
I did too. You just threw me off right here.
I gotta go Fitz first. I got to.
We getting into our full thoughts on Fitz right now.
I mean, let me know. Let me know.
I'll tell you this. I don't love it.
Yeah.
All right, because he goes from Fitz magic to Fitz tragic every year, and you don't know which one you're gonna get.
I see what you just did there. That was nice. I just see what you did there.
I can't take credit for it. I read it somewhere. It's not original. I gotta say that. But he goes on these hot streaks, and then he just stinks. You know, remember the beginning of like 2017, 2018? Him and Deshaun Jackson were just bombs away in Tampa first 4 weeks of the season, and then nothing. They fell off.
Yep.
And I don't think he's ever been to the playoffs yet either.
Nope.
But here's the thing I do like about him. He knows his role. So, like last year when the Dolphins, even although he was playing great, they said, we got to go to Tua. He's not a locker room problem. All right. So here's one. The good thing I like about it is two things. Wide receivers better get ready. Terry McLaurin, you better get ready because he's going to throw you the ball. He's going to stretch the ball. Curtis Samuels, get ready to go deep. He's going to go after you. So I like that part. And it also gives us a chance to evaluate. You know, we've all said Heineke had one great game. You can't give him the starter's job. But what if throughout the course of practice next fall, they're saying Heineke's bringing something and they want to switch him up? I think Fitzpatrick will be okay with it. You know, what if we still have the chance to draft somebody, you know, and that person we draft could sit? What if a Trey Lance falls and we end up trading up a little bit to go get him? He needs to sit. So, you know, so I think there's some positives to it, but I can't say I share the same excitement that you do. It's magic. I don't know about that.
Look, Ab, I get it, man. I'm wishful thinking. I'm out here wishing upon a star. I get that. But look, my thing is this. We got him on a 1-year deal. We got him for cheap. He is a vet. I know he has – hey, look, you have a very small window with him. You have like maybe 5 or 6 games, and then he falls off a cliff. Yeah. But last year, they did yank him mid-season. So I kind of feel like we got him on 1-year deal. We can play around with him. Ab, what do you think, man? Help me out, man.
You see the excitement on my face? My man is like, look, I'm not excited about this. The fact that he never made the playoffs, that's I can't argue that. Like, honestly, that's just pitiful right there already. Because I mean, we're like this 85th team, right? Like, and he's like career like 500. Like, isn't
is he even that high?
Yeah, I don't think it's that high.
You're being generous.
Yeah, he's like an Eli. He's like the poor man's Eli Manning. So, Giants fans, nah. No, like I don't like it at all, not one bit. Like to me, like it's good backup money. I was arguing this before. Like $10 million was the pay of like Andy Dalton or a Mariota last year. So to me, I don't think this is it for quarterback. So I'm still hopeful that we might get another quarterback through the draft, or maybe just one that a team releases just outright. I think we're waiting for that. And paying $10 million for Fitzpatrick isn't a lot, and it won't stop us from getting another quarterback, paying for another quarterback. You know what I mean? So
the thing with Fitzpatrick,
I didn't interrupt you.
Oh, darn it! You're not done. You got more to say.
I didn't interrupt you. There was no pause. No, like I don't like it. Like he's like a what? And also, there's another stat that like is important too. What is he like 1-1 for touchdown to interception ratio? Like I think we need to throw that out there too. That's horrible. And I mean, the positive about him, he does sling the ball. You know what I'm saying? Last year that was our problem. And I think we kind of were reluctant to throw the ball downfield. We were reluctant to throw the ball, period. Like like to me, he's gonna throw that thing. And to me, I appreciate something like that. I really do. So that's the only positive. And to be honest, I think last year was his best year too that he's ever had in his 85 years in the league. What?
2 years ago? 2 years ago, he threw for 3,500 yards, but that was before Tua came. Last year, he threw for like 2,000. He didn't do anything.
Well,
and to your point, I got to mention this real quick. He's played for 1, 2,
Nine
3,
teams.
4, 5.
9.
Yeah.
I knew. Yeah, but 85 sounds better. So
Right.
no, but like to me, last year he had almost 70% completion. Like that's phenomenal for a quarterback.
Yeah.
So I mean, as far as yards, maybe not, but 70% completion rate, you can't ask for better than that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he probably would have broken that streak had he been the Dolphins starter all year. Had they not pulled him, he would have gotten them to the playoffs. So he did have a good year. The thing about Fitzpatrick compared to some of the other guys we were looking at or thinking about or wondering is, you know, the Mariotas, the Mitch Trubisky's, or even if they made it a trade for Sam Darnold, there's a potential with those guys that you don't know about. And you're trading for them. Well, what if they get it together? What if they Ryan Tannehill on our team? You really probably don't see that with Fitzpatrick. He is who he is. We know what we're getting. So that's kind of like what makes me kind of just be like,
And look. At the end of the day, look real quick. At the end of the day, all right, this isn't the guy that I dreamed about. This isn't the guy that I'm scribbling down in my notebooks. Okay. This is the guy that I'm like, look, if we know he's going to give us 4 or 5 games of magic, give me that. Let me get that for cheap. But Ab, I'm going to give it to you, and then we got to get off Fitzpatrick.
I already been off this man for real. I already been off him, man. Like I just like to me, I'm already done with it. But yeah, I can't, man. So I can't be excited about this at all. Like I said, like you're right, Sean, and the fact that like he does have his few games, but it's those bad games that I'm like you know what I'm saying? Like I would like to just be consistent for once. You know what I'm saying? And this man isn't.
No, you're absolutely right. But look, so all right, I apologize. I brought up the person that I was excited about. Maybe y'all ain't excited, but there's other news that just came up. We just talked about it. Curtis Samuel just got signed. He is now a Washington football team member. Ab, how do you feel about that news?
I'm okay with it, bro. I'm good with it. Like you know what I'm saying. He's not my first choice, but he's one of the best ones out there, you know what I mean? And then he's also the thing about it, him on the field will keep the defense guessing. And you know what I'm saying? And that's to me, that's what I appreciate. Like we years ago our offense was baby. Come on.
Love it.
Yes.
Leave it.
Right. Come on.
That's my son, y'all. My son did that.
Hey,
okay.
No St. Patrick's Day.
No, I like it because he's going to keep the defense guessing. I hate when our offense is just the same, and then the defense just starts to like load the box if we're like running and stuff like that. And I hate that. I hate that we're so predictable. Last year we were predictable with the dump off passes, the check down passes. I don't appreciate that. So with Curtis Samuels, he opens up a different avenue of like, is it going to go to Curtis Samuels running, passing, slant, downfield? You know what I'm saying? Like like last year, like you almost knew it's always going to go to Terry if it was a pass. So you know what I'm saying? I honestly, the diversity, just how diverse he makes our offense, I'm all about it. All about it.
Yeah. And Will, man, like we talked about, we were some of the guys that we were looking at, and we'll address some of the guys that maybe went elsewhere a little bit later. But some of the guys we were looking at, one of the things we were talking about is speed. You know, that's why we partially agreed last week with you, Ab, with that Deshaun Watson, because we have to be real about it. He was that over the top threat. I feel
Deshaun
like
Jackson.
Curtis Samuel. Deshaun Jackson. Thank you. You know who's on my mind, man. I'm still wishing, still hoping. But yeah, Deshaun Jackson was that take the top off the defense guy. Curtis Samuels, I feel like, gives us some of that quick lightning speed, something that we can that can take attention away from McLaurin, take attention away from the run game, and really take the top off. So what are you thinking, Will?
That you said exactly what I was thinking. You know, as you look at some of the free agent wide receivers and what we're looking for, you know, I was really looking for something for some speed. I'm looking for someone that's going to scare the defense and open things up for McLaurin. And there were a couple other guys who had some speed but also had some size. And I just think we've got some young guys I want to still get an opportunity to. We've got Kelvin Harmon coming back off injury. You got Antonio Golden, who is, you know, and then Cam Sims is a big guy. You know, so I want to still give some of these young guys a chance before we just buy players to take their spots and move them down the depth chart. But what we were lacking, besides Terry, is someone who can run, you know, and I agree with the versatility that he brings also is going to have another element. While I read some things where he's not so crisp in his routes, I think the ability to take the top off the defense and scare them on both sides of the field is going to be good for us. It's going to open things up. So I like it.
Okay. Yeah. And look, and you know, those are the big moves. Those are the ones we're talking about. And you mentioned, Will, about Cam Sims. We just tendered him. We've re-signed Lamar Miller, who I didn't even like when y'all sent me that in the group chat. I was like, really? I thought he was still in Houston. I didn't know we had Lamar Miller. Yeah. You know, David Sharp got that. But then we also got William Jackson III. And Ab, man, like I do like that part. I do like the William Jackson III as maybe a potential upgrade. What do you think?
He's the first round pick, former first round pick, right? So, kind of the downfall is he only has 3 interceptions in his career, bro. So, like, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I think he's an upgrade. I think I'll say he's definitely an upgrade on Darby. You know what I'm saying? Because he has 48 starts, I believe. That's what they said. So Darby couldn't finish the season to save his life. Darby last year was the only season he out of his whole career that he played and started 16 games. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure how big Darby is, but Williams seems like he's a big corner and a lanky corner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's long, right.
You add some you know that the old saying is cornerbacks are wide receivers that can't catch. So we can put some hands on that man so he can get these interceptions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as long as but to me, the combination of our defensive line and our cornerbacks, we got 2 genuine starting cornerbacks. I'm okay. I'm excited. That is just something that I'm moist about. So it's I'm good with it.
Moist about it. Okay.
All right, it's been fun, guys.
Right. Will, what you think, Will? Hold on. We talking about he's moist about some stuff. He went from kumbaya to moist.
Moist.
Oh man, what you think, Will?
I love this signing because you guys said size and speed. And I think he's an upgrade. He probably is our best corner. He's probably cornerback 1 over Kendall Fuller coming in. If you look at our division and the weapons that Dallas has, and we're hearing that the Giants are bringing in Galladay for a workout. Usually that means you sign him. We're going to have good corners to go up against, and we needed an upgrade. Darby did well last year, but he too didn't really make, he had pass defenses, but he didn't make big plays. And I hope that maybe with William Jackson, the fact that he's on a much better defense, much better pass rush, is going to give him a chance to make more plays than he has. But I mean, I think this is a great signing.
Yeah, I'm with it.
I'd argue.
Mr. Moral Support is commenting. Where you at, man?
I'd argue it's quarterback 1A and 1B. Like, I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like Kendall Fuller because he actually catches those interceptions. Like, what was it, 4 interceptions in 3 games?
Yeah.
So, like, to me, that's what cornerbacks should do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're doing what they're supposed to do, you pass the fence, but you also catch those interceptions. And when you catch those, and then especially the pick sixes, bro,
you need that. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I think one thing that highlighted Cameron Curl was when he caught that one interception and ran it all the way back. I'm trying to tell you, man, that right there made him like rookie of the year, like high. He didn't win it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it made him in the conversation.
And that's what we need. We got that deep that front seven. We're working on getting the linebackers. We've already talked about that. But if we can secure those corners, that's one of the needs that I'm really glad we got. And another one. Well, first, before I even go into the other needs, I'm glad we got them. I mentioned some of the names. Like I said, Cam Sims we tendered. Lamar Miller we got back. We got David Sharp. We got Fitz, Samuel, William Jackson. Will, what grade do you give us right now? Because we've been kind of taking our time. We've been moving a little slower. We didn't make all the splashes like Patriots did. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But what grade do you give us at this point?
I'm probably looking at what we still need. I'm gonna be real generous, real high. I'm at a B to B plus because I'm gonna go B plus. Because I like the way these contracts are being structured. Ab, you've talked about it before about signing these big contracts and front loading or back loading, and hearing where like William Jackson's contract is supposed to be 13 a year, but year one where the cap is smaller, it's only $6 million, then it jumps next year with the cap. Like, that's smart maneuvering. So hearing some of that stuff, I give him that, and 3-year deals for a corner, 3-year deals for a wide receiver. This is good. We don't need 5-6 year contracts, that we're into. So I'm liking them right now. Now, I'm going to let everyone go around. I don't agree with this quietly making moves little thing that we have here. So when I get a chance to come back, I'm gonna refute that. So give me a chance.
Okay. Oh, I got you. What you got, Ab?
All right. So I agree with the quietly because I was correct when I said it, okay? Like, it's quietly because it's day 3 before we're making these, like, emphasis on free agency. And we did it in our group chat, and I was just like, no, like, Sean, what the fans don't know is Sean earlier in the week, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
Yeah.
And I was just like, hold on, bro. Knowing Ron Rivera, he's going to wait until Wednesday morning before he's going to do any of it, like most of his stuff. And what did he do? Wait till Wednesday to do it. And so that's where I do agree with you because I was right. But because that's where I agree quietly is the right word for this. So to me is you asked what the grade was. Okay, let me get back to that. I digress. I apologize. The grade I give it, I'd say a B. I give it a B. I think because you got to average, so averages and stuff like that. So I get, like, to me, you got the William Jackson, that's probably a B, and then the Samuels, that's probably a B plus.
Mm-hmm.
But Fitzpatrick, that's like a D, bro.
A?
D, bro. D. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like a Band-Aid right there. You know what I'm saying? Band-Aid on a bullet wound. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just, like, to me, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? C plus maybe. So, average all those.
I can see
What's
that.
up?
I can see that.
I like that C plus grade for Fitz. I agree.
Yeah, so average all that, B.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. And you know what? I see what you were fishing for, Ab. It's all good. Yo, I got to take a moment and shout out the Shirtless Wonder because I definitely was blowing y'all up. Like, look, what are we going to talk? I'm sitting here with my notebook. Like, what are we going to talk about this week? Somebody tell me something that we going to. And yo, to Ab's credit, he said, man, hold up. Riverboat Ron is going to take his time and he's going to do something right before the show. And you was right. So, hey, there you go. That's it. That's it. That's all you getting. All right. That's all you. All right. So I got to come back to you because I do agree that going back to what we said, and again, Will, I still want your what your grade was, but I still agree that we are making quiet moves. Okay, I definitely agree. I think it's a C plus. More than I think it's a B because I really feel like we still have some needs that we need to cover. But for what we've done thus far, I like it. But I would have liked to seen us do something more of a secure at quarterback. I like Fitz, but that's more of a huff or puff. I would have liked to got something more secure at quarterback. So we don't know. We don't know what's going on. So that's why I'm giving it a C plus because it gives us room to improve. But what grade do you give, Will? And then I'll let you speak on the Washington quietly making the move.
B plus.
B plus. Okay.
B plus. Yeah.
Yeah. He already gave the grade, Sean.
I did. You missed it.
You did? Oh, I didn't. I was like, look, you know why? Because we our other member was commenting in the background. I'm trying to read his comments.
B minus.
About a B minus.
B minus. What's a B minus? Like 80, 81, 82? Is that an 84?
Right.
I don't know numbers at that point.
It depends on where you went to school because like
yeah. What B pluses were like a 91, 92 at Herndon?
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, so I mean, but about the making moves quietly, Will, how you feel about that?
Yeah, so I don't agree with that. I don't agree with two things. I'm tired of people saying that Washington makes splashy moves, and when there's these guys available, I bet you Washington's look at them because that ended the day Bruce Allen became general manager back in like 2009, 2010. Yeah, we did go out and get Deshaun Jackson, and we paid a lot of money for Josh Norman. But these are towards the end of free agency. You know, Josh Norman was signed in April. That's a long time, after free agency that we made these moves. And so it was a chance signing. You want to add something?
Well, Josh Norman was franchise tag, and then Carolina dropped him, pulled the franchise tag off him, and then he entered free agency. But that's the only reason why it was so late. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
And we pounced we pounced. We were the first team to get a plane there, get him to DC, wouldn't let him leave. So I mean, we definitely were aggressive there. But I think that was more tactical, where it's like we're not just throwing money around the way New England did this year. I don't see it as being quietly, partly because here's my little conspiracy theory. I think the NFL has told these teams, y'all need to chill with these free agencies. Because what would always happen is the minute free agency would open, where your legal tampering period starts, sign, trade. How can you say this just opened and all these deals are getting signed? You know they're tampering. So I think the league said, we're going to let you start on Monday. Official free agency starts on Wednesday. There can be some deals, but you all got to stagger these. So I think these players have had these ideas. Now, I do think the receivers are taking time. But I believe that some of these players these agreements have been in place. They're just holding off on announcing them. And I don't think one big signing a day of a starter is being quietly. I mean, we've started 3 starters. I don't see that being quiet in free agency. I think we're making moves. We're not New England this year, but thank goodness we're not being like New England.
So that means it's quiet.
Quiet would be what have the Giants done? What have the Cowboys done? What have the Steelers done? That's quiet. They've done nothing.
Quiet means that we're not in like the newspapers or everyone's looking at us like, look.
So you're saying, like, are we being secretive about it? Are we not being way out? I mean, there's not a lot of rumors about what we're doing, but we're still being out there making improvements. We're being active,
but we're quiet about it. Like tomato, okay? Like let's not even like this. Like okay, let's not even like an argument. Like this,
we gotta move on.
We're in English class now. Stop it.
One person talk about being quiet, the other person talk about being less noisy. So get out. Say the same thing. All right, we're saying the same thing. We got to move on. We made a lot of moves, but there's also been a lot of guys that got picked up. So, I'll start with this. Who are some guys that we wanted but didn't get? For me, obviously, and Ab, me and you were talking about this, Corey Davis. He got signed a 3-year, $37.5 million contract to the Jets. I really liked his size. I really wanted to bring him here. He's one of those guys that I was with. John Johnson, the Rams safety. He got picked up by Cleveland for 3 years, $33 million. So those are guys that I just was like, and for a minute, like I told you guys before, for a minute I had that glimmer of Trent Williams, but then once I saw what he got, and that monumental contract, that landmark 6-year, $138 million, I was like, nah, bruh, you're good. Mm-hmm. So, Hey, Ab, is there anybody that you were looking at that you saw, and I know you guys were talking about it, who did you see that you were like, oh, come on, somebody signed them?
Oh, there's so many. Hunter Henry, Corey Davis. I'm just going down the list to the names that I like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, come on, man. Hassan Reddick, I was like feeling him. Like I was just like, that might be all right. You know what I'm saying? I have a little diversity to the outside. Like I would like that. And especially if you saw the contract that he signed, 1 year, $8 million, bro. We could have done that. Could have definitely done. And I think that's probably what bothers me the most is that looking at these contracts, and I'm like, we could have done that. Like, you know what I'm saying? We could have absolutely done that. And that's the frustrating part is like what we wanted, what I wanted to do. Oh, who's the Matt Miliano?
Yeah, for the Bills. Yeah. Yep. That linebacker.
I mean, Kyle Van Noy's still out there, right? So, like, if we can pick him up, that'd be all right. But I think the most devastating one was the Bills one, was that middle linebacker. And then J.N. Brown, too. That messed me up also.
I know.
Like, I still feel that we, like, to make this free agency an A, we need to address the middle linebacker. I think we need a veteran one, and then we go and get a rookie in the draft too. Mm-hmm. We still need 2 middle linebackers.
Yeah. Well, and again, like, you know, I mean, receivers. I mean, that's one of the main. A lot of people are talking about the big name receivers, the Juju's, the Allen Robinson. He didn't sign his franchise tag with Chicago. A lot of people are talking about them. But you got the Emmanuel Sanders and the Marvin Jones, and then your boy John Ross that gets picked up for just like Ab is saying, for 1 year. What, John Ross, 1 year, $2.5 million?
2.5 million. I know.
Like, come on.
Yeah, like that. I know. I was thinking that, like, now that we've signed Curtis Samuel, how would you not like to have both of those guys lining up on one side of the field, and you don't know who's going deep, but one of them will. You know, who are you going to cover? You know, it's like, for $2.5 million, I would have given John Ross the chance. We've named a couple of linebackers. I think just in general, we've all been talking about all these linebackers. We got to get one in free agency, and they all were re-signed been swooped up before we even had a chance to go get him.
Yeah.
Well, Matt Milano was really the guy that seemed people were targeting. Or what if you get a chance at Levante David, or just in general, like teams weren't giving their linebackers away. I couldn't believe that Jayon Brown re-signed with Tennessee for a 1 year, $5 million. He basically he's like, I wanted to approve a deal because he got hurt. You know, but it's like, yeah, I'll give you $5 million. By all means, prove it here. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one we were talking to just right now, again, another cheap contract is Gerald Everett just went to Seattle. I wasn't really in on the Hunter Henry and the Jonnu Smiths. I don't know. I wasn't really feeling that. But I do know we need another tight end, and we need, you know, and it's like, oh, this is someone that with more time, with more playing time and ability, I thought could really show out the way Logan Thomas did, and you know, gone. So.
I mean, and yeah, that to me, you know, some of those guys, I have to agree with you on the linebacker thing because, like you said, every name that we mentioned, Levante David, Barrett, I mean, he's not a linebacker, but Levante David, Milano, you know, a lot of these guys that we looked up immediately came off the board. As soon as you heard their name on the board, they came off the board. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, and because the teams that are winning, the teams that are dominant, you look at Tampa Bay, what that linebacker did. You know what I mean? Shadowing a fast quarterback or a quarterback that can scramble out. You saw what they did to a Patrick Mahomes, you know what I mean, and his scrambling ability. They had him throwing from the side, you know what I'm saying? Still throwing darts, but still throwing from a horizontal as opposed to a vertical. You know what I mean? So that middle linebacker is key. We will definitely talk about that in the draft because that's definitely one of our points we're looking into. But I would love to see if we could potentially look somebody up. That's something I think we should have looked into. Anton's constantly bro, I don't know if you're driving or not, but if you're not driving, you need to come on with it, man. Talking about he coming out of retirement and he went to the Chiefs. Come on, bro. Come on, Mr. Moral Support. Where we at, baby? But look, we have to move on. We have to move on. Hey, y'all good on that? Anything else y'all want to say? Anybody else you missing? Okay. Okay. We gotta move on to that special time. Like it, love it, or hate it. Oh yeah. And I'm gonna switch some things up. We did talk about this, and we already made our points on it. But the Washington free agency moves. We all really appear. I'm going to say I like it. Ab, I'll come to you. I think I like the move, but because I don't want to give it a love because we still have work to do. But I don't hate it because we're actually making moves and good ones. So, Ab, what are you thinking?
I have to agree with you. Like it. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? To me, it's a little bit different because, like Will said, we're getting starters and stuff like that, which I do appreciate. But at the same time, I kind of like last year when we were getting those like those backups too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I know it's only been 3 days and everything like that, but it's just I like to see some backups in there. Like we got a little bit, like we got our own guys back and everything like that, but like. Give me somebody like backup for the defensive line or like, you know what I'm saying, like a backup corner or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd like to see a little bit more of that, but I agree with you. I like it.
Yep. And Will?
Yeah, I like everything they're doing so far, and I believe that they're going to quietly continue to improve.
Poking the bear, just poking him. So like, yeah. So we got with that. And I'm an audible on second one. I know we had talked about the Fitzpatrick move, but we let off the show with that, so I'm not going to make us repeat that. However, somebody else, a pro football player, a guy that used to play, a guy that made his own Hall of Fame jacket, Mr. 85, Mr. Ocho Cinco, Will, I'm coming to you, came out with some comments that said Fitzpatrick will be making McLaurin a 1,500-yard receiver this year. He not only said it, but he guaranteed it, a la Mr. Namath. How do you feel, Will?
I think he's right. Dude, Ocho Cinco loves McLaurin. He said it on that show that they did, and I think he's right because if you look at the times when Fitzpatrick has had a number one receiver, he targets him. He gives them the ball. And right now, I mean, the thing we've been poor Terry for the last 2 years. He has more yards after catch than ball being in the air for him to catch. You know, he makes the plays. You know, with his legs catching it. So now he can finally outrun some of these guys a little bit. So I think he just needs to be ready. He's gonna, he's gonna get featured even more, and he's gonna be able to expand that route tree. So yeah, let's go with it. I agree with him. It's a good goal.
Ab, what you thinking?
I disagree. To me, like last year was like an anomaly for our team with injuries. Like we were pretty much a healthy team. Like let's be honest. Like for the most part, we were pretty much a healthy team. As to a few years back, to me, I think we're gonna go back to that. I just have a bad feeling, and it's gonna start off. It's gonna be one of our guys, our good guys. So but 1,500 yards, I don't see it because you got to think about it. AGG's coming back healthy. Kelvin Harmon's coming back healthy, and then we just picked up Curtis Samuels. I think he'll get about 1,000 if he doesn't get hurt. He'll get about 1,000, but he won't get 1,500.
You're being the realistic fan. Good job. Yeah. Right.
I don't need your praises, man. I'm always a realistic fan. Like, you know what I'm
saying? Look, nobody believes y'all. We know y'all are fabricating this little rivalry. Get out of here. Yeah. So and last but not least, an album come to you, man. Not re-signing Darby and Kevin Pierre-Louis. Both of them left and signed other places. Darby went to the Broncos for $10 million, and then I'm not exactly sure where KPL went, but I know he got picked up. Houston, yeah. So he got picked up as well. So how do you feel about that, Ab? Us not going after them?
You know a name that we forgot on this list right here? Nick Sundberg.
You're not supposed to go there. That's my segment, but you were on the pre-show, and so now you're going to take my segment. So go ahead, Ab.
Hold on. It falls right here, though. How can I? Nah, man. We forgot his name. That not re-signing Nick Sundberg. He's been here for 10 years, and now we just to me. You couldn't ask for a more consistent long snapper, and to me, that's what I'm wondering where Ron's head at, with this, dude, he's the most consistent person on our team. Corey and Logan are Pro Bowls next year. Watch, shut up, Anton.
You're so mean to him.
Go support. Come defend yourself.
So mean to him. I'll give him McLaurin. I don't know about Thomas.
Dude, okay, that's next show, okay? But what was I saying?
Sundberg.
Okay.
Hijack my segment. Thanks.
No, but Nick, it's the most consistent person on our team. So it makes me wonder where Ron's head at. Yeah. To me, this guy, he puts it in the spot where it needs to be every single time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the guy is, it's not like you pay this man a lot. It's not like he's breaking the cap, breaking our cap pockets. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense to just, do you do this for Abs just has to throw my stuff in the trash? I hate you. You do this on purpose, man.
I'm sorry, man.
Let me talk.
All right, I'm sorry, man.
Thank you, buddy. So it makes me wonder where Ron's head's at. So I'll go to Darby. Darby, like I said, if we didn't touch on the cornerbacks if we didn't touch a cornerback, then I'd feel bad about this. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd be like, we let this man go, and like I said, the money he was paid over there we could have definitely done it over here. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I think Washington, even though we get satisfactory to good play out of a player, I think we're still looking at upgrading the positions too. So the William Jackson move is an upgrade. So I'm not mad with that. Darby can go do your thing, be injured majority of your time over there in Denver, but we're gonna roll with this guy over here, and hopefully he does better than you. And good luck to you, but we're good over here. KPL, going back to my segment on the linebacker position. Who?
Yeah. Exactly.
I know Rivera liked him and everything like that, but like he signed a 1-year deal, and like to me, he's just, I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't very fond of him in the first place. I think Rivera liked him because he was able to move a little bit, but he didn't make an impact. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to break my pockets for you, so I'm good. I'm good that he's gone.
Yeah. And Will, what you thinking?
Yeah, thank you for giving me a chance to talk about Nick Sundberg now. Appreciate
it. And look, you gotta understand, Ab, before you got on, Will was sitting here excited, like, oh man, there, you know who you missed, Sean? Nick Sundberg. Oh, nobody's gonna. I was like, yeah, that's pretty slick. I didn't know anything about that. And you just came out the woods with it.
And he goes, I'm gonna have Ab talk about Darby and KPL, and then you can add Sundberg in there. Okay, that's how we'll do it. And somebody misses rehearsal, and look what happens.
Dude, like y'all should have said something to me, so I would have been like, okay. But y'all didn't say nothing. Y'all know I know my stuff. I don't know why y'all try to okie doke me. Why y'all try to okie doke me? Bamboozled.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta take a minute and tell you, this is when it's really fun. When the guys that you're sitting there working with are doing just as much, if not more, research and data as you. They were all coming up with the same people. This is what it's all about, guys. All right, but look, Will, go ahead, man. I got to give you time to talk about Sundberg. Piggyback off of Ab, because Ab started with it. So
I mean, Sundberg was a shock to everyone. I think he even shocked the reporters from what I was reading it. And the concern, Sean, you and I were talking about is one of our best players, sadly, is our punter, Tress Williams. But the thing about Sundberg is you never heard his name called. And that's because he wasn't muffing any of those snaps back, And so I am a little concerned about this. Like, I just was given, they're signing Dustin Hopkins, they're signing Nick Sundberg, although they'll be back. You hear in training camp, those 3 special team guys are, they do their thing. The coaches say they look great. Now get off to the side. You're done. They're the most reliable set of players we have on the team, and we just let this guy go. So I'm like, I hope they have a darn good plan in place. He's probably coming from Carolina. Let's be honest. They got some dude they're bringing up. It's the way that we seem to be going. But I'm a little nervous about that. The thing with KPL that I was thinking about is I think right now I'm having Sean Spencer syndrome because we haven't signed anybody yet. I'm freaking, and wondering, well, I mean, this guy could play, So I think that's my problem with him. But if you notice, he went from week 1 starter to he didn't even he didn't play anything but special teams in the playoff game. So he just went. So they liked his speed, and then they saw as the season went on, said you. Good enough. So, I need to get over my Ashburn syndrome that I have with these players, that they're all good and just let them go, and believe in the coaches.
Hey, wipe your hands with them. Let them go. All right. Hey, wait, look, when y'all said in the group chat, y'all was like KPL. I was like, is that a company? What's KPL? What? I'm like, that must not have been for me. Let me go back. But yeah, man, he's one of those I didn't know. Darby, I mean, can't say we didn't see it happening, but William Jackson III totally makes me forget about that. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not – all right, we replaced it. Even if it's a one-off, we replaced it. There you go. But, yeah, Kevin Pierre-Louis, I mean, I'm just like, what? Yeah, Ab.
I want to jump on and say, like, I agree with what Will was saying. Like, it's the fact that his name was never called, but, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'd even put it on them like this. Pittsburgh, they lost their playoff game against Cleveland this year. And the first part was because that ball was hiked over Ben Roethlisberger's head and everything like that.
Yes.
Bro. And come on, that stuff is important. Like, it's one of those, like, it's those fundamental things and stuff like that. Is that stuff doesn't happen with Nick Sundberg. And you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I can't remember a time of him doing that. I can't.
Yeah. Let me tell you why I'm nervous. I think back to 1999. Brett Conway lines up for a field goal to beat send us to the NFC Championship game, and he sticks it into the dirt. Brad Johnson has to pick up the ball, and Brad Johnson can't run with it, and he's running for dear life. He gets tackled. We never get a chance to win the game. We're out. Yep. And then what happens after that? Snyder takes over as owner, and the rest is horrible history. So that's why I'm freaking out right now.
Yeah.
I got trauma.
Right. He got that PTSD on Washington, all right? I'm seeing flashbacks.
Yeah.
No!
I can't. We have field goal snaps, and I can't watch.
It's just like, please, no, please. Yeah. But look, and that's the thing. Like, oh God, and to have Tressway be our undisputed like MVP outside of McLaurin and Chase Young, for years our most consistent guy is Tressway. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So that's very finicky. That area when you talk about long snapper, holder, punter, kicker, those I mean, we've been around kickers before. Ab, you and I play with kickers. Right. They're those guys that sit off in practice, all by themselves, twirling their hair and kicking footballs. Right. While we're getting our face hit in the ground and everything like that, they just playing. You know what I mean? So they're really finicky with all that stuff. So you don't want to mess with that. You really don't want to mess with that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a little bit more time left, and I want to go around real quick and ask everybody. You got one big choice, not one big choice, but one choice you can make. Give me one or maybe two. Just let me know, where do you think in the remainder of the free agency Washington should go for prior to the draft? All right, Will, I'm gonna come to you first.
Okay. Oh man, I got like 4 names, but all right.
Oh, well, you can hit. Yeah, I thought about it as I said it. Don't limit it to one. So give me who you got, and go with that.
All right. So first off, we talked about it. We need a coverage guy at linebacker. There's a couple guys out there. We mentioned Kyle Van Noy. Curious what the staff would think of him, but there's 2 guys out there who have awesome names that I'm going to say, and I've heard we got some interest in them. I can't speak too much on if they're coverage guys, but there's Raekwon McMillan and Quan Alexander just got cut. That I'd be curious. I think both those guys can run, and so I'm curious to see what the staff thinks of him on can be a coverage guy that we need. I'd like to see us. So linebacker is one area. I'd like to see us continue to add at corner. I'm nervous with what's going on in the NFC East and who, Dallas has 3 wide receivers. What the Giants are going to get. Philly's got, their receivers were terrible last year, but I feel they're going to, they may get someone in the draft. And so I think we need one more. I'm not comfortable putting Jimmy Moreland out there as our third guy necessarily from a consistent basis. So I've seen he may go to the Jets. Maybe he gets re-signed, but a guy out of San Francisco, I might butcher his name, Kaywan Williams is a slot corner. It's supposed to be phenomenal in that position. That's hard. That's got to be a lot of quick twitch with some of those routes these guys are running. So I'm interested in him. And then the other guy I'm real interested in, he can be a free safety, he can be a corner, he can go back and forth, is Desmond King. He'd be coming from the Tennessee Titans. I like that flexibility because I think it gives a chance for Jeremy Reeves to play, for Cam Curl to play. Heck, you could put Kendall Fuller at free safety a little bit if you need to in certain packages. So I like that flexibility. Now I got two names for you that I think we need to look into right now as depth guys. Okay? Very first one. This guy's job, okay, is only going to be to do one of two things: catch first downs or catch touchdowns. And I think we bring back Jordan Reed as our second tight end. And then the second, now that we've gone through free agency and he hasn't necessarily garnered much interest, I say for $5 or $6 million, heck, maybe even $7 million if you have to, bring back Ryan Kerrigan and let him be a part of the rotation. I know he wants to be a starter, but if he finds that he's not going to get that opportunity, I'd say bring him back. And if we can keep that rotation going, keep those bodies fresh, go for it. That's my piece.
There you go. All right. Ab, what you got, man?
So let me, from the stuff I remember of his babbling. So the $5-6 million for Kerrigan, I like that. Like, I'm not a Kerrigan fan. Y'all know I'm not a Kerrigan fan. But $5-6 million for Kerrigan to come back and play backup, I'm all about that. Like, but if you said $7 million, we might have to fight. So, but $5-6 million, yeah. Like, honestly, for the low, like that's great. You talked about cornerback. I'm gonna let you have that. I'm not too well educated in what the slot cornerback position, and I haven't looked it up yet. So, but my main concern is middle linebacker, inside linebacker, and to me, what I think we should go out and get, like I said, for the low is what the point is. I said it before, Reuben Foster. I think we should try this man out. Honestly, the ceiling is high. If this man can do something and we get him at veteran minimum, bro, that's dude. I cannot be mad with that. Y'all can't be mad with the man that's his ceiling is so high and he produced like a starter and is being paid as a veteran minimum to prove his stuff. Like I can't. Kyle Van Noy, you mentioned Quan Alexander. He's still under 30. So to me, let's go with Avery Williamson. We brought him up a few weeks ago. He's under 30 also. My man's from Pittsburgh. All about that. Was it? Reggie Ragland. He's a former first rounder, right?
He's a free agent?
I see his name right here.
I wonder.
Yeah, so 28 years old, former first round.
Is he a run guy? Is he a run stuffer? Is that why they haven't brought up his name?
Well, he's just not one of the premier guys. He's come from Detroit, maybe an injury. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's like I think we need to get depth at middle linebacker or inside linebacker, and we need to get young at inside linebacker. So to me, I think we're like 3 players away, an inside linebacker from being in sufficient defense. Also, shout out to my man, who's the Minnesota free safety. I'm gonna just drop his name. He's still out there, so let's go. Yeah. What's his name again? Harris. Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Harris. Yeah. Who? Anthony Harris.
Yep.
Yeah. So I like that. I like that real quick because I gotta give love to our team members, and I was gonna wait till you to finish, Av.
Because I get distracted, bro.
Right? I will. Jordan Reed, what? He's injury prone. All those concussions.
I told you what his use would be. 2 things. That's it.
You said on the low, though. So I'm all about Jordan Reed coming back to the low. So.
Oh, yeah. And then he said, we wish he had Garcon back. Ha.
It ain't 2012, bro. Come on.
And Mr. Moral Support.
That's what I'm saying. He's the locker room guy.
He's the locker room guy.
You never let us down, Anton. You never let us down. All righty.
I want to pay him $14 million to hype our team up. What?
Halftime speeches.
The guy. He just saved the locker room.
Feel good. What?
Look. So hey, look. And real quick. I'll just do this. I definitely have my heart set on Galladay. I feel like if we get Galladay, I feel like we can really kind of rest and maybe just work on depth and go to other positions. Like I really feel like in the draft we should go hardcore towards that linebacker and that defense. So I think if we pick up a Galladay, who's a possession guy, has got little wheels to him, played in Detroit, played for some years, I like him. Chris Moore from Carolina, because he's one of Ron's guys and we can get him for way cheap. He's like his contract's like $2 million. Rashad Higgins, his contract's $2.3 million. We can get him for just bolstering that depth. Just God forbid, something happens to Samuel or something happens to McLaurin. I like the guys we have coming up. I like Gandy Golden. I like those guys, but fact is that we don't know anything about them. They haven't really been on. Sims has played, but we have Gandy Golden. They've been hurt. So I wonder if we had somebody that maybe they've played, they haven't been as injury prone. Maybe that'll be good. But then also secondary. I like that guy as you were talking about, Anthony Harris. I love linebacker Kyle Van Noy because now that we're going cheap in other places, let's spend up a little bit and get a Kyle Van Noy. Let's get a guy that's that's got some history that's good that we can put in because we need somebody like I want a rookie. I want a stud out of college, but he still has to learn the system. And Del Rio is one of these guys that likes to be like his vets. He likes guys that can run the system and learn what he's doing. So I definitely think we need somebody a little bit older. Most of your picks, most of the other stuff you guys said, like Desmond King, love him. Ryan Kerrigan for way super cheap. Just basically like, yeah, we'll let you retire here type cheap. Yeah. Come on back, Ryan. I'm with you. You know what I mean? Yeah.
One more thing. The thing that we need to understand about this is the longer that they wait on these contracts, the cheaper the contracts are going to be. So there's honestly, you might see maybe one or two like blockbuster contracts, but you're not going to see a lot more. Now it's going to be the smaller contract, shorter contract, and that's what we need to understand. So the longer that these free agents wait to sign with the team, the smaller the money's going to be. Because you got to think about it. Teams are not going to have a lot of money now to be spending big time money on. So that's why you're not going to see these big contracts. So Calvin Noy, like you're saying, spend up. There won't be a need to spend up because the contract's going to be smaller.
Right.
Smaller and cheap.
Right. And one more guy, and I mentioned this to you guys before. I know he is super old, but I got to shout out my boy Anton, Mr. Moral Support, because he would be a great locker room guy. Mr. Alejandro Villanueva. I know he's older, he's left tackle, but he's a veteran. If he can stay healthy, I like that. If they don't get him, I'm not going to cry about it, but I like his pedigree. I like that he's a military guy, so he's got a good head on his shoulders, and he came from Pittsburgh, where he's one of the captains, one of the leaders over there. So I think it wouldn't be that difficult of a transition. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So, and again, guys, go ahead.
No, I saw his name too, and honestly, I was feeling him also. Like that would be a good. I think it'd be an upgrade. You know what I'm saying? I think he's even younger than Trent. So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm all about that.
Right. And my biggest thing, and a lot of it comes from, we all know where we stand on the whole, kneeling, the Colin Kaepernick thing. But when all that stuff was going on, the Steelers made a decision that, we're going to stay in the locker room and do this and that. Alexander Villanueva is a military man, and he came out. Part of people were saying, oh, he broke with the team. He did that. Before he's a football player, he honors his country. he had a stance and he stood up for what he said. I just want to come out and see the flag. I respect good character, guys. I respect that. Like, I like that. If we can bring in stuff like that to us and kind of overshadow all that crazy stuff we got coming from up top. What you gonna say, man? Come on now.
All right, Will, would you like to say something before I say something?
I was going to say the two words that we make fun of Anton about with that little rant that Sean gave us. Mr. Moral Support right there.
Mr. Moral Support.
You're not wrong, but, yeah, go ahead, Ab.
So you said, like, it's the character and everything like that. He has high character, he's military and everything like that. I don't think because you stay in the locker room, you don't have character. You don't have high character. And
I agree.
Because you kneel doesn't mean you don't have high character.
I agree.
And so I don't think so to say he came out and because he's a high character kind of guy. We all believe what we believe. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, we can't knock another person for what they believe and everything like that. And have
you seen what's been going on in our country here lately? That's all people do. I agree with you, but that's all people do.
Mm-hmm. I'm talking from a perspective, and that was my point. It's about perspective.
Yeah.
And what we don't put enough emphasis on is the perspective that each person has the liberty and freedom to have.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And you chimed in and you said this man's a military man. I'm a military man.
No, I know.
So, it doesn't mean so just because he's a military man and he has and he's like going to stand up for his flag and everything like that gives him high character. Me, I'm black before I am anything else. You know what I'm saying? Right. So before I'm a veteran, before I'm Abdul, I'm black. And honestly, and that's my perspective. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't make my character less than his because I
no way intended to make it like your character is any less or anything like that. My thing was with that situation, what kind of intrigued me is that the team stayed in the locker room and he went against that and he did, and that was his decision. He made a decision in his head, and that's something to me that says I don't need to go with the crowd if I need to stand up for what I believe. Just like with you, exactly like what you're saying. I think he did the same thing. His views might have been, where he was coming from might have been different, but that's what he was saying. He was saying, look, I am what I am first. I'm a person. I believe in what I believe in, so I'll stand for that. And so that I like. But no, I completely agree with what you're saying about that. And that doesn't make him high character because he did that. But I just think when you see, you got Juju doing the dances, you got all these guys, wearing the clothes and all this. With me, I'm an old school guy. I'm one of those guys that, your actions, the optics, it speaks louder than a lot of other things. That's why I love Cap so much, because what he did is the optics. He's telling everybody, this is how I stand. I will speak on it. I will let you know how I feel about it. And if you don't understand it, well, that's on you, because exactly what you said, perspective. You see it differently. You see it. But with him, it's just as more of a locker room leader, more of a team thing. Yeah, definitely not anything negative towards that, because you already know how I feel about you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but yeah, anything else?
I ain't got nothing, man. Honestly, it was a good show, guys. Thank you.
Fun.
Yeah. Anything else? More Mr. Moral Support?
Yeah, Anton, you got any messages for us?
Moral Support doesn't let the locker room get out of this guy. Okay, all right, man. Next week, you know what? we coming after you next week. Anton, we coming down. Yo, you know what it is, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a great show. Washington Football Weekly. You know who is your boy, Sean Spencer. I got my man, Will Kramer, Dub K to my right. I got the shirtless wonder, Ab, under me. Hey, Anton will be back with us next week. Ladies and gentlemen, join and tune in, because all this free agency stuff, all this pre-draft stuff is just heating up. It's just heating up. And even though we might be making some quiet moves now, next week, they will be less noisy. Yo, Peace, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next week. All right.
Be blessed, everybody.